Hello and welcome back to TF News, or Titsburg Feeler News. I am your host, TG13. Guys, we are only a couple days away from the Hall of Fame game. Preseason is almost here. Baby D has already started breaking down the teams pre-draft and who they should draft or what they should do instead of drafting, like trading. I've already had a couple people asking for trades. We're getting closer. We're starting to get there. Like, it's coming up pretty quick. So today we're going to talk about some NFL news around the NFL. And we're going to talk about who I think are the 10 best quarterbacks in the NFL fantasy football wise and where they will place this year. So let's get started. Colts quarterback Carson Wentz to have foot surgery. First off, I need to apologize. Last week I said that he hurt his ankle. It was his foot, and I believe I had read that it was since high school. So he's expected to have foot surgery and to miss 5 to 12 weeks. So Tanner, you're finishing third in the division. Sorry, told you that. Jags are better. Anywho, so yes, Carson Wentz to have foot surgery, expected to miss 5 to 12 weeks. Left guard Quentin Nelson, probably the best guard in the NFL, to have foot surgery and miss 5 to 12 weeks. It's ridiculous what's going on in Indianapolis right now. I saw a video a couple days ago about Madden rankings, and it looked like they were walking through a forest to get to their... Sorry, my cat is going crazy over here. It looked like they were going through a forest to get to their practice field. I'm not sure what's going on up there in Indy. But yeah, so you have your starting quarterback and your starting left guard both out 5 to 12 weeks if everything goes well. So, good job, Indy. I bet Tanner's excited right now. Eagles rookie wide receiver Devontae Smith is week to week with a knee sprain. Like I said a couple weeks ago, it's not good for a rookie to be hurt during training camp. This is where they start to gel with their quarterbacks. This is looking better for Zach Ertz. I think Devontae Smith will be good, but not getting that cohesion with the second year quarterback, that's not good, especially at the beginning of the season. I don't know what will happen with our draft with him, but later in the season he could start to break out, but the beginning of the season, I don't know. Either he's going to be on the waiver wire or he's going to be at the end of somebody's bench. Buffalo Bills eyeing Austin, Texas as a new home. That came out, I saw yesterday. The owners want a new stadium. Buffalo's against it. They don't have to pay for it. So they've talked about Austin, Texas. Do I think this is going to happen? No. Why would you go to Austin? Anyways, no, I think they're fine in Buffalo. But I thought that was some news. That was pretty interesting. And Falcons have worked out running back Dante Foreman. Sorry, I've had a few beers. They're expected to sign him this week. Do I think that does anything to Mike Davis? Not really, but figured I'd throw that in there. There wasn't much in news that I could find in the last couple days outside of Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson. Those were the two big things. So let's get to quarterbacks. Yeah, TG13's top 10 quarterbacks. Number 10, Ryan Tannehill. In 2020, he had 332.7 points in fantasy. That's 20.7 per game if you're counting. I did. I counted it. Just to double check. Never know. He lost Johnny Smith and Corey Davis. I know Johnny Smith was a big part of last year. He's a really good tight end. I wish he wouldn't have gone to New England. I was really hoping that the Jags would overpay for him. He's very electric, still pretty young. I'm not happy with him in New England. Him and Hunter Henry, they go against each other so much in fantasy. They make each other irrelevant, especially when you have Cam throwing the football. Um, Anyways, Corey Davis was the wide receiver that they lost. Key additions: Julio Jones, Julio Jones. I know some people have said like, "Why does he say Jay? Why does he say Julio?" I don't know, because I'm bored. All right, I like to drink and I get bored sometimes. Uh, Anyways, so yeah, they added Julio Jones. That is huge. That's bigger than losing Johnny Smith. Um, you have AJ Brown, Julio Jones at wide receiver. I've put so all these rankings are per ESPN. I'm actually going to move myself out. There we go. Um, they're per ESPN as of right now. So AJ Brown is the number 24th best player. Julio Jones is number 42. Derrick Henry is the sixth best player in fantasy football right now, according to ESPN, whatever. I don't think he's number 6, but hey, it's what ESPN says. Get mad at them. And Anthony Ferkser, tight end, at 246. Their offensive line rank, according to PFF for this year, is 15th. Team strength of schedule, according to CBS, is tied for 13th. I like Ryan Tannehill. And at 8, so again, we are 8 managers. We have 8 teams. Just relax. We have 8 teams. To have Ryan Tannehill at 10, I would pick him at the end of our draft. He's a good quarterback. He's got great wide receivers, a great running back. Tight end, but still, decent offensive line. Got a decent schedule. He could put up some fantasy points this year, especially playing against the Colts and the Texans. Anywho, on to Justin Herbert, number 9. He had 328.8 points last year as a rookie. That's 21.9 points per game. He definitely he lit it up last year. I ended up grabbing him off the waiver wire. I think it was week 3 or week 4. What week did Dak get hurt? Is that week 4 or week 5? I think it was week 5. And so I picked up Justin Herbert off the waiver wire that week, and he exploded, and I started him for pretty much the remainder of the season. Very happy with him. He lost Hunter Henry at tight end. They did add Jared Cook to fill Hunter Henry's spot. His running backs: Austin Eckler, wide receivers, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Josh Palmer. Yeah, we don't know who that guy is. He just was the next best wide receiver on that team. And Jared Cook at tight end. His offensive line rank, according to PFF for this year, is 18th. And his team strength of schedule, according to CBS, is 17th. So look at that. Well, I'm going to start at the beginning. Losing Hunter Henry, that sucks. Again, Hunter Henry, I always wanted him to be like the next best tight end in the league, like Kelsey and Kittle. I remember his name this time. Just never could do it. So you lose him, you add Jared Cook. Jared Cook is, I hate to say it, but I think he's washed. Good player, but I think he's over that hill, man. I know there wasn't much to add after Hunter Henry and Johnny Smith got signed, but yeah, the Chargers didn't really add anything at Jared Cook. They took a huge step down. Austin Eckler, one of the best running backs in the NFL. Keenan Allen, Really, really good wide receiver. Mike Williams, if he could catch the ball and actually come down with it and run instead of just jumping 10 feet in the air and landing on his side or whatever. But he's a good player. Josh Palmer, never even heard of the guy. So that's about all you got. And then you got Jared Cook. Again, I think he's over the hill. I don't think there's much to add there. But you got a decent offensive line. You got a decent schedule. You Justin Herbert going into year 2. Again, you have Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Throw it to Jared Cook a couple times a game. You're going to get up there in points. So I have him coming in at number 9. Number 8, Russell Wilson. In 2020, he had 357.8 points, which is 22.4 points per game. Key losses, Greg Olsen. I'm glad your son is doing a lot better. I've been keeping up with what's been going on Twitter and Reddit and Facebook and stuff, so that's good. Very happy for you guys. Gerald Everett is who they was a key addition. Tight end Gerald Everett. Starting wide receiver, running backs, and tight ends: Chris Carson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Dwayne Eskridge, and Gerald Everett. So again, kind of like, if I could go back, Justin Herbert, you got a good running back, really good wide receiver, and then just falls down. Offensive line rank according to PFF, tied for 11th. So they got a good offensive line. And you look at the strength of schedule, according to CBS, 17th. So again, you got a good offensive line, almost a top 10 offensive line. You got a top half schedule. You got a good running back. Can he stay healthy? That's always Chris Carson's problem. Can he stay healthy? DK Metcalf coming into his 3rd year. Dude is just a god. I mean, he reminded me so much of myself. He's just, put your pants back on, Milky. I know what you're doing. Put your pants on. And you got Speedy Tyler Lockett, boomer bust. So I have him at the number 8 quarterback. I know they like to run the ball. I know that's how Pete Carroll is. I've been saying this over and over. But still, it's Russell Wilson. I mean, he could win you any week. I mean, you pick the week, he could literally win it for you by himself. So I have him at the number 8 quarterback. Number 7, calm down. This is my rankings. Dan, I already hear you. Tanner, Carson Wentz should be the 7th best quarterback. No, stop it. Yes, Tom Brady cannot run. I know a lot of our fantasy quarterbacks that we like can run. Tom Brady is old. He's like that old grandpa, just sitting right there. And you're like, hey, Grandpa, you okay? Grandpa, Grandpa, Grandpa. And then he just jumps up and he's like, whoa, sorry, sleeping. Anyways, Tom Brady, number 7. 2020 fantasy football. Wow. 2020 fantasy points. I'm doing this on my first take. So whatever happens, whatever I say, the mess ups, the dog barking, cats messing around, I don't care. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm going to drink my beer. I'm going to vape. I'm just going to hang out. So be it. Have fun. Anyways, Tom Brady, number 7, 2020 fantasy points. 337.9 points last year. That's good for 21.1. I also had Tom Brady on my team last year with Justin Herbert. Pretty happy about that. I had drafted Dak pretty early, expected big things out of him. Got hurt. Pretty happy with those 2 quarterbacks. Key losses, none. Key additions, none. Like, why would you, if you didn't lose anybody, why would you bring anybody? Anyways, now look at these wide receivers and tight end. Yeah. These wide receivers, tight end? No. These wide receivers and this tight end. Anyways. Mike Evans, 33rd. Chris Godwin, 45th. Antonio Brown, 88th. Gronk, 143. Leonard Fournette, 101. Ronald Jones, 112. I mean, they have, in my opinion, probably the best wide receivers in the NFL. No, in my opinion, they do have the best wide receivers in the NFL. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown. Any one of those three could have 2 or 3 touchdowns and 100 to 200 yards a game, or in a game. And it wouldn't shock you. I mean, Antonio Brown in the last 10 years is the best wide receiver. Chris Godwin, up and coming slot wide receiver, really elusive, can catch. Mike Evans, was he 6'4", 6'5"? The guy can jump over people. This team is stacked. Let me tell you. Anyways, and then you have Gronk, who loves to party with his shirt off and go get hammered. I mean, Gronk would love this video and everything that goes on here. And then you have Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. Nobody cares. Offensive line rank, according to PFF, 5th. Again, 5th. I have Tom Brady ranked 7th. So when you're sitting there and you're judging me for what I just said, those 3 wide receivers in the 5th best offensive line. Now, hold on. There's more. Look at that strength of schedule. 29th. Probably need to cut that out. I'm just saying. So yes, I have Tom Brady at 7th. Aaron Rodgers. After that whole fiasco we just went through. Jesus. So we're all in a group message, and we are texting each other. I'm texting in this group message every day. And I'm throwing stuff off of Reddit, off of Facebook, off of Twitter, just stuff I'm reading about what's going on. Aaron Rodgers finally signs. Not signed, sorry. Let me rephrase this. Aaron Rodgers finally says, yes, fuck, I'll go back to Green Bay. Hits training camp. I told you guys it was going to happen. Anyways, 2020 fantasy points, 382.9 from the MVP. That's 23.9 per game. He brought in, well, he lost nobody because they didn't have anybody. Key additions, Randall Cobb. So now he has Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, Aaron Jones. I wouldn't say great running back, really good running back. And Robert Tonyan. So, start at the beginning here. Randall Cobb. I said last week, that guy is going to get so much volume, so many passes. Well, he's already at 155. He's going to keep moving up. The further we get into training camp, he's just going to keep sliding up. So you have Devontae Adams, Alan Lazard. Sorry, bud, you're gonna sliding down even more. You're not gonna be fantasy relevant this year unless Randall Cobb goes down. You have Aaron Jones and Robert Tonyan. Tonyan is I don't know about him. He's a wild card. He could easily get 1 or 2 touchdowns in a game, and then he might not get a pass the next week. Offensive line rank, according to PFF, 16th. Strength of schedule, according to CBS. 4th. So they have a very hard strength of schedule and a decent offensive line, but then again, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's his last year. It's him, Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams. None of them are going to put on a Green Bay jersey after this year. They're going to leave it all out there on the field. I have him as a top 10 quarterback. I know he doesn't run. He's 34 years old, I think is what he is. He's still got a couple years. He's going to look great in Denver next year. Baby D. Let's see what I did there. Anyways, so yes, that's my number 6 ranked quarterback. Number 5, Josh Allen, 387.9 fantasy points. That's 24.2 per game. Key losses, none. Key additions, Emmanuel Sanders and Matt Breida. Yeah, that's what they brought in. Starting wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends. Stephon Diggs lit it up last year. I'm not going to say great wide receiver because he's only done it for 1 year. Very, very good wide receiver. Cole Beasley. We'll see if he plays this year after what he's been saying. Gabriel David. Wow. Gabriel Davis. Can't pronounce his name right. I mean, he's sitting down there at almost 200. Zach Moss. Wow. Don't get a running back on that team. And Dawson Knox at tight ends. I love Josh Allen. And I love this Bud Light. Anyways. I love Josh Allen. He's got a really, like I said, a really, really good wide receiver. I like Cole Beasley. I used him a lot in DFS this year. He's a guy that can get you 8 to 10 catches in a game. This is another day. Sorry about that. Then you have Dawson Knox, Emmanuel Sanders, Gabriel Davis, Zach Moss. I really wish they could get their running game going. You know, between him and Singleton, that would make this team so much better and so much more fun to watch and more fantasy relevant, which is what we're all about. Offensive line rank, 14th. Team strength of schedule, 23rd. So, got a better than average offensive line. Strength of schedule is not very hard this year. Josh Allen going into, what is he now, year 4? And, again, yes, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, hopefully, cross fingers. The guy could put up really good fantasy points this year. So, again, that is why I have him at top 5. At the number 5th, top 5. Quarterback in fantasy football. Number 4, Lamar Jackson. 2020, he had 330.8 points per game. That's 22 points per game. He had a down year last year. And I only say that because he won the MVP the year before. So, you know, you get so high up here, it's hard for you to, like, just average out a little bit until people are like, nah, the dude's horrible. He's not horrible. I don't know what was going on last year. He keeps saying he wants to pass the ball, but every time I've seen him pass the ball, he's not that accurate. But that's just me, armchair quarterback or armchair coach. Mark Ingram was a key loss at running back. Key additions, Rashad Bateman, who I think just got hurt. Pretty sure I read that today. Anyhow, starting wide receiver, running backs, and tight ends. Marquise Brown, Rashad Bateman. Sammy Watkins comes in from Kansas City. J.K. Dobbins, Dan. I really wanted him last year. We both saw the same thing. We both knew that he was going to be the number 2 rusher on a rushing team. Man, you got lucky. I'll give you that. You're a smart man. That's about all I got. Sorry. And Mandrews at tight end, number 54. I drafted him. Actually, I kept him last year. Expected big things, but again, Lamar he had a down year. Probably not going to draft him again this year. I know he's still going, was he the 4th tight end right now? Still going pretty high in drafts. I'm out. I'm not touching him. He's just, fantasy-wise, no. NFL-wise, yes. Still a good tight end. Will he crack top 3? No. Unless there's a huge injury. It's not worth it. Offensive line rank, according to PFF, 12th. And team strength of schedule, 2nd. Right behind the Steelers, who have the hardest schedule in the league. So, yeah. Have fun this year. Well, I was going to make fun of Big Ben. But, so yeah, they lost Mark Ingram, getting old. He went to Houston. Then you have Marquise Brown, Rashad Bateman, rookie. I really like Rashad Bateman. I think he'll overtake as the number 1 wide receiver on that team this year. Only problem is, again, it's Lamar throwing the ball. The good news is, I know it sounds like I'm dissing the guy, but he can run the ball. And in fantasy, that is huge. So the guy could run for 1,000 yards. No joke. And that's huge for fantasy football. Am I saying he's the best top 5 quarterback in the NFL? Probably not. Is he a top 5 quarterback in fantasy football? Oh yeah. So yeah, Lamar Jackson, number 4. Number 3. This is I know he has a shoulder problem right now, but this is me saying nope, everything's fine. And week 1 he'll be playing. 2020 fantasy points, 123.5 because he played 5 games. And look at those points per game, 24.7. That is why I drafted him last year. I saw what was coming. Look at those wide receivers: Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. We'll count Zeke right now as a wide receiver, but yeah, I mean, look at those guys that can catch the ball. They're heavy, and then he ended up getting injured. It ruined everything. But the guy had like 700 passing yards in the first, no, it was more than that. Damn, I don't remember how much he had. Anyways, the guy was lighting it up. I don't remember how many yards he had. I'm not going to look it up right now. But key losses, none. Key additions, none. I mean, what are you going to add to that? You have Amari Cooper, 32. CeeDee Lamb, 35. Michael Gallup, 83. But still, as a third wide receiver, I mean, according to ESPN, he's higher than Antonio Brown. So, then you have Zeke at running back and Blake Jarwin, who I thought was going to take off last year until he got hurt in training camp. Offensive line rank, according to PFF, 6th. Team strength of schedule, 31st. And that is why I think he's the third best quarterback. If he can come into this year healthy and start repeating like he did last year, yeah, there'll be some regression, but that's fine. He's got a really good offensive line if they can stay healthy. And the strength of schedule, I mean, it's amazing. 31st. There's not too many other teams that can say that. So yeah, I have Dak Prescott as my number 3 quarterback. So, all you little fans out there, Chief fans, you're going, I know he has Patrick Mahomes at 1 because it's Patrick Mahomes, but who's the guy at number 2? Well, now I have Patrick Mahomes at 2. Sorry. Last year, he had 268.4 points, 24.5 points per game. They lost Sammy Watkins. Huge loss. Do you know what that does? No, I'm kidding. And key additions, none. Starting wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends. Tyreek Hill, the Cheetah. McCall Hardman, who I actually like this year. I'll get more of that closer we get to the draft. Demarcus Robinson. No, I'm good. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, again, another player I really like this year. And Travis Kelce, the best tight end in NFL history. Offensive line ranking, according to PFF, 7th. Strength of schedule is 11th, though. That's probably the only reason I didn't put him at number 1. The guy can run. I mean, he doesn't have to run. You guys really beefed up that offensive line. You have Tyreek Hill. You have Travis Kelce. All you need is McCole Hardman to step up. And this could be not an amazing season because he just won the Super Bowl, but like one of those seasons where you'll never forget. Like the Bears or the Dolphins or the Patriots. Like this will be one of those years where like you just never forget because it'd be amazing to watch week in and week out. So the offensive line, like I said, you revamped it. Your strength of schedule is pretty tough. Again, you have Travis Kelce, very hard to cover him. Tyreek Hill, same thing. You just got to have McCole Hardman just step up a little bit. Be a decent number 2 option. Patrick Mahomes could be quarterback 1. And number 1, Kyler Murray. Calm down. 2020 fantasy points, 378.7 points. That's 23.6. For a second-year quarterback that loves to run the ball. You guys keep forgetting we're fantasy. Yes, Patrick Mahomes can throw for 500 yards, but Kyler Murray could run for 200 yards in a game and gets more points. Key losses, Kenyon Drake. Key additions, James Conner. AJ Green. I'm kind of kind of getting around on that one. Kind of liking that. And Rondale Moore, wide receiver, rookie wide receiver, Rondale Moore. I just said everything just completely backwards. I have no idea. Starting wide receiver, running backs, and tight ends: DeAndre Hopkins, Rondale Moore, AJ Green, Chase Edmonds, Max Williams. Offensive line rank, according to PFF, 11th, and team strength of schedule, according to CBS, is tied for 13th. So, break this down a little bit. They had James Conner to go along with Chase Edmonds, AJ Green, and Rondale Moore. AJ Green is getting old. He's still decent. And Rondale Moore is super young and super quick. He can get those home run, those balls on the outside. You have DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre can do anything and everything. But again, you have AJ Green. He's getting old, but he can still get those targets and still make those catches when you need them most. Those third and longs. And then again, Kyler Murray can run. I legit think Kyler Murray could run for over 1,000 yards this year. Maybe throw for 3,000 or 4,000, but he can definitely run. And in fantasy, I will say it one last time. So many points happen from running, especially rushing touchdowns. So again, I have Kyler Murray at number 1. I don't care if you don't like it, Milky, Cody, Tanner. You like Carson Wentz. We just had this debate this week. Have fun with Eason. Have fun with the Texans. Anyways, those are my TG13's top 10 quarterbacks in fantasy for this year. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, send a picture, DM me. I don't care. And spay and neuter your dogs and your cats. Oh, you already looked. Never mind. I was going to show you because that's what you end up with. All right, everybody. Have a good night.